Alrighty, welcome to another day in paradise. And yeah, I know it's been a while. I know. Anyway, what I've done today is I've locked myself in the shed. The place is shut down. It's been really busy. Okay, don't give me a hard time. I've had a lot of stuff on my plate, a lot of jobs, a lot of work. Bit of a change in my business strategies. I'll tell you some other time. But the shop is getting filled up with long-term sort of projects. We've got the Dodge back again, transmissions shit itself for the third time. Don't know what's going on there. Got to get to work on the Tirana. Got a rotary down there, Series 2. Come and meet Thomas. Thomas just chills out. Say hi, Thomas. Yeah, he's a bit cold from his sleep last night, but that's alright. He didn't say much. Anyway, what I've got here, look at this car. It is covered in dust. I mean, I'm using it more as a blackboard than an actual project at the moment. It's just, people come in and write stuff on it, give me a bit of grief about how slow it is, how long it's taking, but things are very, very, very slowly happening. Look at this, I'm getting rust on some of this panel work, but anyway, we'll get there. So, a little tiny bit of an update. Things are moving along slowly. As you can see, I've got my pipe work sort of in place. This is where it's going to go. The throttle body is going to go through the firewall, and it's going to lead along the centre of the car on each side of the handbrake. I don't know, it sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it? The turbo outlet, I'm not super happy with it yet. I might have to alter it because the seat can't quite click back into its last position because it hits on the pipe down here. So that's going to be modified, I think. That's what I'll try and get sorted possibly today. I have actually been doing some work. I've had the dash out of it again. Well, not the dash, the heater box and the bits and pieces. And if you look closely, I don't know if you can even see it, it's a bit dark down here. There is some pipe work going through the front firewall. It's all welded in. It's mild steel, beaded on each end. It's sealed. And as you can see, it comes through there and there. Comes through the firewall. So, and I've altered, I'll just put this bonnet up. Right. I've altered my layout of my intercooler slightly, and I've changed my radiator size slightly. This is just because the bigger radiator I had planned for it was just a little bit of a mish to fit properly. So what I've done is I've got my 600 by 300 by 100mm thick intercooler core there. I'm going to alter these end tanks to go into the pipe. Obviously this side there into the pipe, and if you look closely underneath there is a radiator in a V-mount configuration. It's actually out of a SW20 and I've modified it. The outlets on it, one there and one there, and welded a few things off it, made some rubber brackets for it to hold into place, some rubber lined brackets I should say. And if you look into the front, no, it's not very bright. I'll grab a torch. Here we go. So we have a radiator at the bottom and a intercooler that's covered in cardboard at the top. And then on the bottom of the radiator we have our fan work. It's all been mounted and done properly, all welded on. So oh, excuse me, I've got a bit of a sniffle nose today. So today I'm going to try and muck around with these intercooler end tanks and see if I can get them all lined up. And yeah, cause a bit of a stir because people don't like it when you do something a bit different like this. But that's what I like. It's good. Upset a few people. I love hearing lag comments. It's awesome. So yeah, I'll get that started and see what I can do. Alright. Okay, so I've just pulled the intercooler out and you can see a better view of the radiator there. It's a sort of V-mount configuration. I would have liked all the air to come up through the top of the, out through the bonnet, but just space and the way it worked out, I think I'm going to have the radiator air going down underneath and the intercooler air going out the top, which is all good. But there you can see a nice radiator for SW20 modified end tanks like I talked about, rubber mounted brackets, so that's all solid, all happy with that, that's cool. And if you look at this closely, these two pipes here and here that go through the firewall, this one over on the left, on my left, is slightly pointing upwards, and this one on the right is slightly pointing downwards. Reason being is this one had to go up slightly to clear the steering column, which is fine, and this one here is compared to the other one is pointing downwards slightly, and that was because it had to go underneath on the other side of the firewall, the big heater box assembly, and if it was going to be the same height as that one, it would have interfered with the heater box. But that's alright. So the intercooler is going to have its tanks modified with some pipe work here and here. Because of that pipe difference going through the firewall, the height difference, one of these is going to be angled slightly upwards and one of these will be angled slightly downwards to sort of try and get itself all evenish, lining up easier. So I'll get stuck in and figure out how I'm going to cut this up, see what I can do. Okay, so I've just hole sawed out just with a generic hole saw the sides here. One's slightly pointing up, one's up, one's down, as we talked about. And now I'm going to chop off the remainder of these original spouts here and here, and figure out. I've just got a bit of old pipe here, just a bit of an old pipe, just to sort of feel it out. It's going to be something like that, and as for the end cap, I'll cut that spout off and make up a blanking plate for it, contour it around that pipe, and then get it all tacked up. Same on that side. Okay, so I've trimmed off the spouts, give it a blowout, get most of the shrapnel out of it, give it a bit of a clean up. This one's the one that points downwards, this one here's the one that's slightly pointing, well, it will be pointing upwards, and this is just a bit of an old shitty bit of pipe I had lying around. So as you can see, I'll get it into position in the car, work out what I need to do with some new pipe over there, and tack it up, and then I've got to weld a plate, blanking plate to match it there, and that's my intercooler tank sorted, hopefully. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, this is it, just a trial temporary fit up to see what the pipe angles and all that look like. Everything's working out pretty good in terms of the height of the pipes, sort of matching each other. Angle they come out on the intercooler looks all good. But before I can do any of that, I've got to really address this angle difference from there to there. Same with there to there. Obviously it's not straight. I knew that was going to happen, but that's all I could do. So I'm going to have to muck around with that a little bit, have a little bit of a dog leg in it. But I'll try and do it properly, and it's looking all good to me. Okay, so after a whole lot of mess, cutting, I've got this thing tacked up. What I've got here is my piping. It's tacked together. The yellow tape is where the join is. I've made sure I've got a straight and a straight to join the couplers on, because you can't join on a bend obviously. And there's the little dog leg I was talking about on each side. Everything's worked out good. I haven't tacked it to the intercooler core yet, because I'm going to weld these up properly first, just due to the fact that they'll be easier to weld on the bench individually. And I've marked around the cores, around the tank, where I need to cut it. So that's it, all sitting there. I'm pretty happy with it, and as usual, run out of time. It'll be welded up another day. But yeah, there you go, a front mounted intercooler on an MR2. Yeah, people think it's crazy. They did it back in the 90s quite a bit, well not quite a bit, but a little bit, in Japan. So yeah, see what happens, eh? I love hearing about the lag. Everybody's got an opinion on lag, so we'll see what happens. And the next step will be, once I've got all that welded up, will be then running them through the centre of the car to connect up. But I'll get this bit done first. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's it for today. I'll have to clean up my mess and have another go next weekend, obviously. So turn that off. Done. Alright, the lights are going off. I'm going to get out of here. Say see you later, Thomas. Yeah, he's not too talkative, that guy. And I might clean up that little car one day, get this dust off it. But I mean, just look at that. That's awesome. That's a big ass motor in a little ass car. Just what I love. So it's looking good, man. So give it a clean up, get this welded up, upset a few people with that, and time to go and have some lunch. I'll tidy the rest up on Monday. So alrighty, see you later.